Colombia, a country a lot of us know about, a country many of us have visited throughout our lifetime, a country at the center of controversy, chit chat, a country that people have been visiting for so long from famous cities such as Cartagena, Cali, Medellin, and the list goes on. Bogota. Colombia is indeed a beautiful country, right? It is. Especially these border towns, these border cities, right? That are beside the water. Because there's no better view than looking outside of your hotel room, your Airbnb, right? Your hostel, and seeing water, being able to go fishing, snorkeling. But the problem that we're having right now is there's a possibility that we're going to have issues going through immigration. There's a great possibility that whatever issues we had going to Colombia will increase. As Americans, for those Americans out there and what's going on in the political landscape, their president and our president aren't exactly the best of friends. So we're going to be going through an enhanced scrutiny, enhanced security, enhanced questions, enhanced interrogation. We are going to be going to Colombia like an interrogation. And I wouldn't be surprised if people that started going to Colombia or going back to Colombia were unable to enter. I wouldn't be surprised if people were going to Colombia and were deported. I wouldn't be surprised if visas were denied. I wouldn't be surprised. Because one thing for certain and two things for sure. Countries retaliate. Countries retaliate. Countries want you to know that if we're not welcome there, you're not welcome here. But even if you're welcome here for tourism purposes, we're going to make it hard. They're going to start going through your phones. Tinder, WhatsApp, Bumble. They're going to start going through your Facebook, your Snapchats. They're going to start getting documentation, investigative tactics, getting information on you that you may or may not feel is beneficial towards the investigation, beneficial towards whether you should visit Colombia or not. And you're saying, man, I'm just coming to Colombia to relax, go to the beach, eat some good food, dance, right? Go to the club, maybe meet my wife. Who knows? Maybe meet my wife. But all of those things might not be possible. Who knows what's going on with Colombia? Their president is reluctant. Their president is defiant. But guess what? So was Venezuela's president. History shows us that some countries that aren't exactly friends of the U.S. make it hard for U.S. citizens to go there. Some countries, historically, we know if we go there through there, they're going to check every nick, every crack, every corner of our luggage. We know we're going to go through secondary inspection. They're going to pull out our underwear, our socks, our pants, our shirts. They're going to open up our lotion bottles and shampoo bottles. They're going to search every nick and cranny of our luggage with the hope that they're able to find something that could have us detained, arrested, or locked up abroad during 30, 40, 50 years. They're going to ask questions, trying to trick you up. They're going to ask you if you have a large sum of money, what is this for? What are you trying to buy? They're going to see if you have counterfeit. Did you buy this here? Or are you looking to sell this? This is one of the many questions that you're going to be Ask going to these countries while they're going through your luggage for 45 minutes, hoping they find something. Maybe they don't find something in your luggage, but maybe they do find something in your luggage. Let me repeat that again. Maybe they don't find something in your luggage, and maybe they do find something in your luggage. Because there has been more than one incident of people going to foreign countries. And allegedly, stuff was put in their bag. Allegedly, stuff was put on their person. Allegedly, they didn't smoke or they didn't do drugs, but allegedly, stuff was found by the authorities. And a lot of these countries do not play about drugs. A lot of these countries love to make an example out of tourists. Listen, I'm not mad at it. I think it's a great idea. If I give this tourist that came here with whatever paraphernalia they came here with 35 years, right? If I give this tourist 40 years, if I give this tourist, let's say 15 years, anyone that's thinking about going there and engaging in the same thing, they're going to think twice. Anyone that's thinking about going there and engaging in the same thing, they're going to think twice. Right now, I don't think Colombia is a country that people should visit. I'm just being honest. I do not think it's a country that people should visit. Everyone has a story. A lot of people have children. A lot of people have families. They're taking care of their parents, their great-grandparents, somebody else's child because they married a woman that has kids. So they're taking care of their kids and someone else's kids. A lot of people have businesses and restaurants, and people that are dependent on them. A lot of people are the sole breadwinner for their families. They have kids they have to take to school. They have kids they have to help with their homework. They have kids they have to take to soccer practice, football practice, tuck in at night. But all of those things can change in the blink of an eye if the police come inside of your Airbnb, your hotel, comes inside of your restaurant, stops you on the street and arrests you, push you up against the wall, cold metal biting into your wrist. And you're like, what happened? You call home, your family's crying, your daughter's crying, Daddy, Papi, when are you coming home? Your son's crying, Dad, Pops, when are you coming home? And the answer is, you don't know. You don't know. In a lot of these countries, I love saying a lot of these countries, but in a lot of these countries, there's been stories and documentaries of about what I'm about to say. They're going to torture you. They're going to torture you into admitting you committed a crime. There's been many stories about people in Thailand that uh they signed something in Thai and they didn't know what they were signing. I don't know who does that, but there's been many stories about people in Thailand that signed something that was in Thai and they didn't know what they were signing, and come to find out it was an admission of guilt. They went to Thailand, got in trouble. The Thai authorities said, sign this, right? They thinking they're going home, and they just signed a piece of paper saying, I did it. It's kind of hard to say you didn't do something when you admit it, you did it. And that's why if you were to ever find yourself in an awkward situation in any foreign country, attempt to get a lawyer, right? If you have the money. If you don't have the lawyer money, you got a bigger problem, right? But if you can get a lawyer, get a lawyer. But most importantly, if you can get someone to interpret those documents, get someone to interpret those documents. Because 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, if a police is asking you to sign something in a foreign language, it's not asking you to sign something saying you didn't do it. Let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, if the police ask you to sign something in a foreign language, they're not asking you to sign something saying you're not guilty. Think about it. Be smart, right? Make the right choices and don't make decisions that's going to indirectly affect you. I'm sorry, don't make decisions that's going to directly affect you and indirectly impact your family. Because in those cold jail cells with rats and roaches and people talking to you in a language you might not understand, and people trying to take things from you, if you know what I'm talking about, People trying to extort you because you're American, allegedly you got money. Those probably aren't the jails and prisons that you want to spend the next 15, 30 years in. One of the worst feelings in the world, one of the worst feelings in the world is being in a situation to where you don't know when you're coming home. Being in a situation to know you don't have a date. All you're doing is calling home and asking questions and asking your family to get a lawyer, asking your family to send you money, asking your family for this, that, and the third, asking your family to contact the embassy, asking your family to get answers, asking your family to be positive, telling your family that you'll be home soon. But the truth of the matter is, you don't know when you'll be home. You don't know if you'll be home soon. And your family's at home laughing and joking, having a good old time, and you're locked up abroad in some prison cell, miserable, sad, lonely, questioning life choices. But sometimes we find ourselves at home relaxing, and boom, the door comes open and it's police there, just like Mr. Floyd. The police come and they're saying, hey, you're under arrest, just like Mr. Floyd. Sometimes we're guilty. Sometimes we're guilty by association. And you don't want to be somewhere where you're guilty based on your counterparts, your friends, your associates. Imagine if someone was in a room with Mr. Floyd, right? Another quote unquote passport bro. You think they would have let him go? You think they would have let him go home and get on a plane and leave the country? Of course not. He would have been in investigation as well. They would have went through his phones as well because people are guilty by association. It doesn't matter if you say no, you don't know what they're talking about. It doesn't matter if you say no, you didn't have anything to do with it. You're guilty. You're guilty. You're guilty because you were hanging around with them. You're guilty because if you were hanging around with them, you've had to have known what they were into. Let me repeat that again. If you were hanging around with them, you had to have known what they were into. And if you didn't, whose fault is that? If someone goes and robs a bank, for example, right? And you're with them, are they guilty or are you both guilty? In this world that we call life, you can be guilty by association. And that's why I am not big on hanging out with other guys and, spending time with other guys, Pauls. And I definitely am not into what uh uh uh, Mr. Floyd and that other gentleman were into. They inside of each other's room and he's cutting his hair and Floyd's sitting on his bed. Like I'm not into that weird that freaky stuff, the LGBTQ stuff, right? It's just weird to me, right? Ain't no guy coming to sleep on my bed, sit on my bed. Ain't no guy ever gonna look at my bed, right? But I digress. But you can be guilty by association. And that indeed is a fear of mine. It's always been a fear of mine, mainly because I know that a lot of people don't like what I like. And that's fine. A lot of people don't go to Thailand and get tattoos, and enjoy the food, and get on jet skis and go swimming and do all these water activities and go to these different islands. Some people go to Thailand for other things, right? Some people go to Colombia for other things. But you have to understand that the judicial system in Thailand isn't there to give you a break. The judicial system in Thailand and Colombia and all these foreign countries are there to give you equal, if not harsher punishment than if it was one of their own. You can't go to Colombia and get caught up doing this, that, or the third and think you're going to get a break, but they're going to give their own people 10 to 15 years. You're going to get those same 10 to 15 years. And imagine being in jail for 10 or 15 years, playing chess with Jose or Juan or Kim, not knowing that they're your friend, but they're trying to get extra friendly with you, if you know what I'm saying. You really never truly, as a traveler, right? You really truly never understand someone's intentions. You don't know what someone's into. Not everyone that smiles in your face and ha ha he he's, how's your day, where you're from, is out to have your best interests at heart. Not everyone that gives you a pat on the back and shakes your hand is out to have your best interests at heart. Some of these people that you're going to meet aren't really out to look out for you. A lot of these people that you're going to meet are out to take advantage of you. A lot of these people that you're going to meet really don't care if you live or die, really don't care if you're happy or you sad. A lot of these people that you're going to meet have negative intentions. A lot of these people that you're going to meet, in all honesty, are predators. A lot of these people that you're going to meet, in all honesty, have done this before. A lot of these people that you're going to meet really shouldn't leave the house. They should be in a cage. They should be locked up. A lot of these people that you meet overseas aren't genuinely looking for what quote unquote passport goals are looking for. A lot of these people overseas aren't genuinely looking for a relationship. They aren't looking for families. They aren't looking for wives. They really aren't. They don't care about having a spouse. They don't care about having kids, having a family. They're going over there indulging in things that are illegal. And this is what you're going to be in a complex situation in jail with other people like-minded as you, or other people that got caught up because of their acquaintances just like you, wondering when you're going home. Wondering if the president, the congressman, the councilman, city council, senators, wondering if the embassy. You're going to be out there at the gym, lifting weights, playing basketball, football, wondering when they're going to call your name, when they're going to call your number. And truth be told, you will never, ever know. There's been many of people that have been locked up abroad and spent years and years and years before some trade prisoner swap. There's been many people that's been on locked up abroad that actually did their time. Just because you go to a foreign country doesn't mean they're going to be lenient. Just because you go to a foreign country doesn't mean you're going to get out early. There's been plenty of people on locked up abroad that have done their full time. You can't go to these countries and indulge in illegal activities and expect a fair outcome. I do not suggest going to Colombia with the current political landscape. I do not suggest going to Colombia and being under the microscope the whole time. I do not suggest going to Colombia and people are looking at you, watching you, surveilling you, following you, checking your every movement. I do not suggest going to Colombia at this current time. Going to Colombia isn't the greatest idea because going to Colombia is going to negatively impact your future. Going to Colombia might negatively impact your job, your way of life, your diet, your health. Going to Colombia, it's not a great idea, guys and gals. You're taking a chance. You're taking a chance. Maybe they don't go through my stuff. Maybe they don't arrest me. Maybe they don't follow me. Maybe they let me through immigration. Maybe they ask me a million questions. Maybe they don't ask me a million questions. In the end, you have to ask yourself one question. Is it worth it? Is going to Colombia worth what you might go through? Is going to Colombia worth the added security? Is it